Welcome to another episode of Helping the Brave. I'm Ed Parcaut, your host, and I'm sit down with Chris Duprey, an Army veteran and leadership coach. We're going to talk about his journey from military service to business ownership. We're going to discuss the challenges vets face when transitioning, the value of military experiences in the civilian world, and how staying connected can make all the difference. Whether you're getting out soon or building a career, this episode is packed with insights you do not want to miss. Well, hello, everybody. I'm Ed Parcaut, host of Helping the Brave. Let's bring in our guest today. It's Chris Duprey, not Dupree, but Duprey. No, that's okay. When I got in the service, I was Ed Parcaut.
Gotcha.
I was in San Diego, got to Camp Pendleton, started doing some acting and modeling stuff. And they're like, change your name. I don't want to change my name. Why don't I just do the French pronunciation, Parcaut? I got so much crap from it when I got back to the base after everybody's like, no, that's not Parcaut. That's Parcaut. Just getting so much crap. Yeah.
I was at the Infantry Officer Basic course when You, Me, and Dupree came out. So I got a lot of that.
So you understand.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, that's what we do. We mess with each other, people, their names when we're in. That's how you do it. Definitely. But you're now I always ask the question. I know you already told me, but I already knew. But what service and why?
Yeah. So I was an Army officer. And why? I had wanted to go to West Point from the time I was like 12 years old. And then I didn't get into West Point. And so I went to Valley Forge Military College, and they had an Army ROTC program. And that started my pathway onto active duty eventually.
All right. So why did you want to go to West Point so bad since you were at that age? You there?
So my old man wanted to go when he was, when he was college age. He didn't get in. He was like the second string nominee or whatever. I ended up going to Pennsylvania Military College. And so he had always instilled this in me. And then I never wanted to do it. I was like, no, I don't want to go do that. Then I went to DC in 8th grade, saw the changing of the guard. And even though I'm only 5'6", so I could never be in the old guard, I was like, that's what I want to do. And then I got focused on, well, how does one get into West Point? And then it transitioned to, okay, cool. How does one become an Army officer or an infantry officer? And that's what I ended up doing.
Wow. And so what year did you join?
So I enlisted in 99 in the reserves. I got commissioned in 03, and then I went on active duty in 06.
Okay. All right. And then how long were you in?
I was on active duty until August of 14, so a little over 8 years. Guard and reserve time, it's all like 10, but it was a while.
When you decided to get out, was it a choice or was it something happened?
Yeah, I actually got out when I was on the 04 list. So I had gotten selected for promotion, selected for the Command and General Staff College, and it just, some things didn't all fit together. My daughter at the time was 4. I didn't want to move to Kansas to go to Leavenworth. She wouldn't have been able to start school. All these different things compiled. And so decided to get out. So it was a choice. And it was, for me, it ended up becoming the right choice.
Right. No, because sometimes things happen and you're planned on being a lifer, and that's nothing. I don't mean to insult anybody who wanted to be a lifer. I never did. I didn't know what my plan was at the time. Yeah. I was a corpsman in the Navy, and I ended up going to physical therapy school, and I saw a lot of stuff, even though I wasn't in combat. I saw some other stuff. But hey, do me a favor, 1 second. I'm going to pause this real quick. All right. And like I said, I saw stuff on active duty, non-combat and the problem, and the reason I'm bringing this up, because a lot of people went to combat. A lot of people didn't go to combat. And I always want to bring about benefits. Just because you didn't go to combat does not mean something didn't happen to you while you were in. Go get seen, go get your benefits, do it now, stop waiting.
Yes.
Yeah, because a lot of people are told when they're getting out, do not go do this. I'm going to find you and kick your ass if you do. And that's the wrong thing. The benefits are there for a reason.
Yeah. I would also say to any current active duty, specifically officers, you have never gone to sick call. You have never gone and gotten anything documented. As a former paratrooper who should have gotten a lot of stuff documented, save yourself the time and hassle and go do that.
Yeah. Well, the one thing about as a paratrooper, right? Airborne, my son, went into trees the last jump he did. And he's like, I don't want to do that anymore. And that's fine. But if you go, even if it's not documented, we can find cases that show medical evidence that jumpers over so many jumps will cause this to their knees, cause this to their back, cause this to their hips, all the way through. As long as you get the medical evidence to back it up, which is not hard to do if you know what you're doing. But most of these guys who help you with your benefits have no idea what they're doing.
Right.
The difference is if it's documented on your way out the door, and you say, it's easier if it's documented on the way out the door. If they even come back and say you have 0% because your shoulder has had an issue with your knees or whatever, but it's not really bothering you right now, and they gave you 0, that's perfect. That's ammunition for down the road when it really starts bothering you. It's when you get denied and you don't go back and get the stuff, and you should.
Right.
Anyway, get me off my soapbox. Now, the problem is it's life-changing for people to get their benefits. I mean, it's a huge difference. I fought for 20 years and couldn't get my stuff. And then I met a guy, and I'm at 92 right now, which means I'm at 90. And they didn't do my PTSD at all. Because when the stuff that I know now and how to do it now, which is make sure they have access to your current medical record, not just upload your documents. You got it, because I got diagnosed a day after I uploaded. You follow me? And so I thought they had access to it. No, they don't. You actually have to fill out that form, upload the form so they can give access to your current records.
Yeah.
Anyway, enough about dim benefits. All right. So you got out.
Yep.
Army officer. Must have been really easy to get a job and everything else getting out.
So, I mean, it was.
Oh, okay. The first one it ever was. All right. That was by the way.
I know. I mean, I think that like it wasn't a great job. Right. But I think on the officer side, there's a really good network of these companies that will have these conferences. Right. And so I got a job out of a hiring conference. I knew absolutely nothing about business. And I got a job with a profit and loss responsibility and all these great things, but I didn't know what any of it meant. And, you know, so my transition into a job was not hard. The reality, though, was going from an 03's salary to a mid-level manager in a company did not equate. Right. So my difficulty was going, oh, I'm making less when I'm out now. Well, this is weird.
Yeah, but you also don't get one thing most people don't understand. You get your pay, but you don't get the live off base additional BAS, that kind of stuff. That's the difference, and that's non-taxable. Which when you get out, even if you make the same amount, you're making less.
Oh yeah, and it's like, and I moved back to Connecticut, and like insert all of the taxes that come with living in New England, and so going from Fort Bragg to Connecticut, I was like, oh. This is actually now a drain, right? Like, so that was the hardship was more like, I didn't understand how much money I needed to make as a civilian to just stay where I had been as an Army officer with BAH and jump pay and all the other things. So that was a unique first year.
Right. And all right. So when you got out, what did you do when you got out? Because you were an Army officer, I didn't ask you. Infantry, what were you?
Yeah, I was an infantryman. Yeah.
And what? Because on infantry, if I can't even talk to the infantry, there's like a couple different ways to go in there, right? And what I mean by that is, what did you do as an officer in the infantry?
Oh yeah, so I mean, I was a staff, and I did some staff time, but I got out right after company command. So I commanded a heavy weapons company in 1st Brigade of the 82nd Airborne Division. And so, you know, I led a 79-man company. And at the time, it was still all dudes in the infantry. So, you know, 79 folks, got out. And my first role was running a pest control company in the state of Connecticut. So my whole area was Connecticut. It was about a $6 million business, like as part of a very large company, but my district was a $6 million company with about, I don't know, 15 people.
And how did that? Okay, so when you got out, did they understand what you could do because you were in the military?
So
Was that able for, because a lot of times the difference between civilian and us knowing what we can do,
yeah,
we don't relate that really well to other people, what we can handle and what they don't understand. Because coming from what you oversaw as an officer is a lot more than 15 people.
oh yeah. So I think the reality is that company had hired several former military folks to come do some of this. So they knew what was possible, but there was still the whole, they're at the, when we're in the hiring process, it was a lot of explaining what it even meant to have been an infantry officer, right? Like, so there was a lot of that. And then
you just shot things, right? That's all you did.
Yeah, right. That's
and
all.
you ran a lot. You backpacked. Right.
Yes.
Camped out. Yeah. You had some wars by the fire.
Yeah. So it was difficult just making sure they understood. And again, going from being a company commander with, where there's 5 of you in a battalion, right? And like just the hierarchy. I still remember that first like district manager meeting, and it was a conference call, and I'm the youngest human on that call, right? And they all had the experience that maybe like in terms of leading lots of people, far less. I mean, the regional vice president, he was running a team of maybe 100 people, and he was late in his career at that point, right? And so it was a change. It was definitely different. And within the first weeks, it was like, oh, this is a lot different than being in the 82nd. It's a lot different than being in 2nd ID. This is a lot different than being with people that have done all the same stuff that you've done. So that was an interesting time in my life for sure.
So how could someone prepare better for that? Because you think it's going to be one way, it's totally different. People don't understand that the outside world has no idea what we do in the military and what's required of us and everything else.
Yeah. I think the biggest thing that actually helped me and went through it was I found a buddy that I had gone to school with who had been like who'd owned he had just started his own company. And so we just started to get together to talk about leadership. And so it was like having a conversation with somebody outside of your inner circle of former vets or vets, right? And it was just talking with them. And for me, what I ended up getting out of it was understanding how much he was leaning into what I had to say. And so while on paper, he would have looked at me and been like, yeah, I don't get it. As we were talking, he kept wanting to know more. Well, how would you handle this? Well, how did that happen? And how did this work? And so like two meetups for beers and dinner, he's like, hey, I want you to come and be my COO. And now I said no. For 3 years, I said no.
Why?
Because I wasn't ready. Or at least the story in my head at the time was that I wasn't ready. I barely knew what revenue was. I was going to grad school at the time on Uncle Sugar's dime through the VA. But I had this self-doubt that I needed to go check more boxes before I was going to be ready to go run this my friend's company. And like hindsight, I love all the steps that I took between first job and getting there. But the stories that I told of not being ready, like if I've learned anything, and I've been out now for 11 years, all of the issues that I've like worked on as a company commander, as a staff officer, and then all the issues that I worked on as a director of operations, as a COO, as a head coach, all of them are the same. They're all rooted in people. They're all rooted in communication issues. They're all rooted in people getting in their own way. And so I wish that somebody had talked to me about that when I first got out. When it was, hey, don't worry, like, yeah, go get your master's degree if that's something you want to do.
Right.
But brother, you got a decade of experience leading people. Like, it's the same. It's actually probably, easier in the civilian world, in my opinion, than it is in the military.
Yeah, there's no comparison. It's totally different. What we're used to doing and then what we're able to do are totally night and day different things. That's why if you have two people who run two different companies, one's civilian, one's military guy, the military company is going to take off faster and do more because we put in more time. We do this, we do that. We'll just do it and get it done. We don't take no for an answer.
Yeah. Well, and the other piece though is like this idea of, you had no tools other than the military structure and like authority and it, like the chain of command was the reason that things got done, right? And like you had to communicate effectively and all that stuff. But in the civilian world, when you have bonuses and when you have levers that you can pull to help you get after it and go after those things, leading in the civilian world's easier. And a lot of the people that I talked to before all thought it must have been so much easier for you to lead in the military. I was like, not at all. Not at all.
I would see that. I think it might be easier in your mind, but what I mean is you tell a group of your people what to do, they do it.
100%.
Well, if you tell a bunch of civilians to do it, they don't do it unless you talk to them properly and get them motivated the way that you should. And
I mean, when I listen,
it's different now than it was when we first started this. I know.
Yeah. But the idea, I think that the real idea is you could tell people what to do. Like, again, I'll just use my experience in the 82nd and in second ID. We could tell people what to do and they would do it, but you wouldn't get the best out of them. Right. And so when I was a commander, I focused on not being easy. Like I was a prick company commander. I'm sure that folks was like not, I was really great with the dudes, with my lieutenants, like was really hard on my lieutenants. Right. But the reality is that my company did all the stuff we needed to do because we talked about why we're doing it. And we did great. We jumped well. We did all the things really, really well. But when you go back to like the civilian world, I think that the thought that we all have is I can't just be honest with folks. And to me, that is like the biggest trap that we fall into, right? Is we hear these horror stories of what goes on in the civilian business sector. And so we sort of like dampen who we are as leaders from our time, whether it's Marines, Navy, Army, Air Force, whatever. And we like diminish our standing to fit in. And that's like the exact opposite. Now, I'm not saying go and like knife edge chop people in a meeting, right? You don't need to do this. But holy smokes, the things that got soldiers, sailors, airmen to go do things for you are the same that'll happen here. And I think that if we look internally and go, well, what is the thing that we need to do to get folks motivated behind us? Like they'll do it. And yet we as vets that don't have a coach or don't have somebody that has been there, if they haven't listened to something like this show, you struggle because you don't know where to start. And that's a key piece.
Or you don't ask for help.
Well, yeah. Oh, well, that's the other piece.
Yeah. Because to me, your CEO job, you didn't want to take a handout.
Yeah, I mean, there was
yeah. I mean, I don't think I could be totally off, but I know how it is. It's like, no, I want to show that I can do this, this, and this, and then I'm ready for this damn job.
I mean, that was
even though you were ready for it already. Yeah.
Yeah. It was like, I just learned how to read a P&L. What do you mean go run a company?
Yeah, but you don't have to. That's somebody else runs that and just tells you everything. That's why. That's why you have accountants. That's why you have a bookkeeper. That's why you have financial, the CFO. They're all three tell you where you're at. You should be able to read a little bit to know what to do, but that's not your job.
Yeah. Well, at that point in time, I had all that self-doubt, and it took a year of being in the civilian world. Then it took like finishing grad school. Then it took a second job, right? Like all these things spiral. But it's just like, I mean, I remember going on active duty, that first duty assignment, you're nervous, right? And then by that second or third one, you are used to it, even though there's no way to be used up. Like, I don't even know what they call it. Is it called the onboarding in a new base? I forget what they call it. Like, it's been a minute. Yeah. But it's like
forever. I didn't have and Navy's different than Army, because I remember when I went to Fort Sam Houston, Texas for my specialty school for physical therapy, I was a day late, but they would stick us Navy guys in barracks for days to figure out what to do with you. So all I did was just said, they had me stuck over so-and-so for like a day.
Yeah.
And there was no way to double check it. They don't like put you in a computer system at the time. Yeah.
Well, it was a little different. In processing was a little different, but like in processing Fort Lewis, Washington was nerve-wracking. By the time I in processed Fort Bragg, you got used to it, right? And I think that the same rules sort of apply as you leave. Like the more time that you do the thing, the less stories you tell yourself, and the less stories you tell yourself, the more success you have.
Right. All right. So you got out and you finally got your master's.
Yep.
And you work for this company. And then how long did you last at that company?
I did a year. So I did a year while I was there. And
why only a year?
Because it wasn't for me.
Just didn't feel it. Yeah. So you were chief operation op.
Oh no. So this is so I was like the service center district manager.
Oh,
that was a year.
Okay.
Then I went to an architecture firm for 2 years as like the director of operations. That whole time, my buddy was harassing me to come work at his company. So 3 years after I got out, I joined that company as a COO. Did that for 4-ish years, then built a coaching program at the same company. Was a coach with them for 3 or 4 years and left and started my own company. We started our company 2.5 years ago, but I went full-time into it this year.
Okay. When you started the company 2 years ago as coaching, I want to go back to the company. You said you started coaching at the company. You were coaching people, at the employees and other
internal and external, right? So coaching, doing leadership coaching internally, but then we built a program and the whole company pivoted to becoming a coaching organization from what
was the organization?
Marketing agency.
Okay. Kind of like it. Okay.
Yeah. So like an inbound marketing agency, transitioned into like a teach you how to fish instead of fish for you company. And so did that, was with that company for 7 years. And all of the stuff from the military, like helped do that, helped run it, helped you figure out all these things. And then, I've been doing the Question First group now for, we started 2.5 years ago and full-time in it for this year. And, it is one of those things where I never thought when I was growing up that I was going to own a company. I never thought that I would coach people. And then when I think back to like what I did as an Army officer, like you coach people. and like my platoon sergeants, the squad leaders, all the NCOs, like that's what they did too. Like the military is one big coaching organization that happens to, also go and do things to bad people, right? But it's everything about my experience in the Army led me to where I'm at today. And the biggest thing I think I've learned is that people eat up that stuff. I was talking to a former colleague who retired as post brigade command. And we were talking about how we don't love telling our Army stories in business. And it's because we don't think that they're big stories, right? Like when you're amongst yourselves, like nobody, like, it's like, yeah, well, of course you have 30 jumps or 50 jumps or 100 jumps, like big deal. So does everybody else. But like outside to the owner of $100 million company, they're like, you did what? Tell me more about that. What do you mean that you lived on an Iraqi army base? Like all of these things are huge to people on the outside that you would never think that they would care, and they all do.
That's why they read the books.
That's right. they I mean, look at Jocko.
Yeah.
Right? He wrote Extreme Ownership. That dude is business famous now as a former SEAL. Right? Because he wrote the book and shared his stories.
Yeah. But I mean, I'm talking also I had the writers on who took over for the Jack Clancy novels.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, the two Navy guys. And then I'm actually interviewing two more guys after you that are authors. Then they're still guys. So it's amazing. What I'm getting at is those stories and those things, even if you do it like a fishing story, stretch them a little bit. If most of the time you don't have to, but you can. I'm just saying those things people eat up because they've never been it. They've never done it. It's like my wife watching these people do, ultra marathons and all the different things, like the 250 miler or whatever just happened last, that they just did the other day. That's big for her because she'll never do that.
Right.
Yeah. I wouldn't ever want to do that.
Yeah.
Running's not give me a bicycle. I'll do hundreds of miles. I don't care. It's a totally different world.
Yeah. But, I think that the biggest thing is just, if I could go back and tell myself something, it's like, don't have all the self-doubt, man. Like no matter how you're getting out of the military, there are valuable skills, no matter what your job was. And again, like I fell out of airplanes.
You jumped. You didn't fall.
I mean, we fell.
You
don't jump.
You chose to walk out that door.
We chose to walk out the door. That's true. But there ain't no jumping with that. But the idea is, even as an infantryman, right? Like there's so much applicable stuff, as an engineer, as a medic, as a, just insert any specialty.
I know, but nobody puts that all together for you. And that's the
right.
problem. That's what somebody needs to do. Is one of the things I do fire walks for veterans. I did in the last couple of years here in Modesto. I don't know if you listen to all my stuff, but basically it's a actual fire walk, like a Tony Robbins event. End of the night, we walk across poles. The guy that helps me put it on worked for Tony Robbins for almost 20 years. He's a Army vet, I think. Yeah, I know he's a vet. And then we do a little talk beforehand. We do it, and it's changed lives. Well, after that, we've had some guys come over talk about we need a boot camp out, like we have a boot camp in, because there's 6 things that we lose when we get out. Plus, we're also a tool of war, and we need to change that. So I created a thing called Civ Ops Academy. It's not going yet. I just threw it all together in one place to have it there, so I knew when it was ready, it's there. And it's really to help people get through those 6 things that we lose when we get out. And what I'm getting at is you need to connect with those people. When you get out now, it's a lot easier. You have Facebook, Instagram, all the different social media posts that stay connected with people. I didn't have that when I got out.
Yeah.
My first cell phone was in my vehicle.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
I'm older.
Yeah, just a little bit. But anything that we can do to help folks transition out, because it isn't easy. there's tons of stories that we can all tell ourselves. And organizations like the one that you're building are just exactly what, I know my friends are all retiring right now. They 100% need some of this stuff.
It's just a way. And here's the thing is I put it all together. I don't want to run it. It was one of those things. Here's the thing. I was like, here's a fucking amazing idea. Excuse my language. And, to do this, now I need to find the people who want to help build it and grow it because I can't do it alone. I need other people to help me do this. And that's what I'm looking. And the problem is I created, that was before I had the idea of doing the Helping the Brave podcast, been doing it for 4 years. Well, we created the Helping the Brave Veterans Benefit Company from it. So it's under helpingthebrave.com. And our goal is what I'm working on right now is an app to where you don't have to go get somebody to help you and take money from you. You can just upload the stuff into the phone, into the computer. It's going to tell you what you need, what Nexus letters you need. Do you need any letters? Because this is connected this way, this is connected with, fill out the forms with you, because technically nobody's supposed to help you fill out the forms. You're supposed to do it yourself because they want you to go to loan to make mistakes. So the whole goal is to be able to do it to where, you pay a small fee to get on there. I'm talking cheap, just to pay for the system. And then you're able to do everything you need fast and no problems. AI helps you write everything.
That sounds awesome.
Yeah. So that's the plan. So it's in the works right now. They're waiting on me to finish throwing all the stuff in this voice stuff I have to talk about. I have to talk for like 2 weeks into something and what exactly I want the website to do. And then they're going to take that, convert it into everything else. Yeah.
Well, you're doing great work. I mean, it's definitely stuff that is not needed today. Right.
Well, I'm doing everything that is painful and has been caused me pain. I'm trying to find ways to figure it out for other people so they don't have to go through what I went through. I lost millions of dollars in benefits because I kept telling no. There's people who have PTSD just from being told no. They don't have PTSD even though they have it, All right, Chris, is there anything I should have asked you that I didn't ask you today?
I don't think so. I mean, I think that the biggest thing is like not only stay connected with the folks that you were served with and like find that community, but I would strongly just recommend you go find somebody from your past that is in business to talk to. That would, like, if I go back to like what was the biggest thing that's helped me move through it all was having those dinners with that guy. And it has led to a beautiful post-Army career for me.
Has anybody created a mastermind for vets?
I don't know. I mean, I'm sure that
there's a ton of masterminds, but I don't think there is a group that's just for vets to connect together as business owners.
Yeah. I will tell you, I 100% don't spend enough time in the vet space.
You just said reach out to people who are.
I know. I know. That's why I'm saying. So, over the last year or two, I have started to open myself up to reaching out to my pals that are getting out,
right?
To doing that. But when I was trying to figure all this stuff out, I was like heads down. I had that one buddy that I ended up working with,
right, which was a vet.
No, not a vet. We were fraternity brothers in college.
Okay, well,
right. So like not a vet.
Right, not a vet, but it's kind of the same brotherhood to a certain point. Not under fire kind of brotherhood, but a totally different brotherhood.
Right. And so
and I misheard because I could have swore that he was
Oh no, he was not a vet, which was actually for me the thing that helped me get out of my own head was the value that he saw in a former infantry officer. Right? Like it wasn't just his buddy Chris. It was like, oh, you're saying things that sound like things in books that I've read, but you've applied them. Like, how do we piece that stuff together? And so yeah, I'm trying to do more veteran stuff now. But that has been like really more with my circle of folks that I know that are all retiring.
And see, for me, when I first got out, all I did was because I was in San Diego. That's all I did was veteran stuff, right?
Yeah.
Military, because I was in the mortgage industry. So that's what, and then I moved to Northern California after I grew a big company and we did everything. And then now I'm back to helping vets because of what I've been through and different things. And it's like, it's the best place to be at, you know, you have a trust built in. People, you understand each other more than anybody else does.
Yeah. And so I'm trying, my company, we will have, one of my old bosses is now the commander of the War College. And so like, there's just lots of ideas around what my company does and trying to get some roots. But the reality is
too, you're close to a bunch of,
I know. Yeah. We have the sub base here. So we're Navy here.
Right. No, but I'm just saying, but where I'm at in Central Valley, close to Northern California, San Francisco, we don't have any bases left here, really. They're all gone. They got rid of them so they could turn them into condos and everything.
Yeah. Yeah. No, we have a few here, but like the idea is, I think that there's some stuff that we can do to help the vet community. We haven't figured it out yet. But the work that we're doing will definitely someday help the vet.
And you're talking about coaching, because you coach people in business or what?
Yeah. So it's leadership communication, sales communication. But I think that there is a path to so we teach a system called the Pathfinders way. I see that being something that could apply to transitioning out soldiers, airmen, seamen, like there's a path. It's just, I need a little bit more time to figure out the path.
Who came up with the path? The name, the Pathfinders way.
Oh, so, I would love to take full credit and say that I told a story about paratroopers and Pathfinders. And that did happen. But we were also talking about the Pathfinders in New Zealand that take people on the Great Walks. And so our whole system is around being a Pathfinder, somebody that's walked the path already that can help show stuff. And so it's a whole framework that we love and that we think that everybody should learn.
Have you named it yet?
Well, so it's the Pathfinder system of communication, also known as the Pathfinder's way. We're working on trademarking all those things.
I was going to do better. Hurry up. And the only way to protect what you do is to trademark it. That's why you come up with different names. Like I'm in the middle of, I learned how to vibe code 3 weeks ago, and I created this whole podcasting system because I do a ton of podcasting.
Yeah.
And I do 5 days a week. I do a live in the morning for a half hour with a buddy of mine in the real estate industry. Well, it's so hard to find VAs. Everybody cut that up into a reasonable cost 5 days a week. And so what I'm getting, and every part of the thing has a unique name, so I can trademark each one of those little different parts all the way through. That eventually, if I wanted to sell each unit separately, I could. But,
no, we're in the process of that. We're going to be launching our first books soon. So,
okay. Well, let me know when you do.
I will, man.
Yeah. It was really nice talking to you today, getting to know you. But there's so many needs to put together for our veterans in business. If there's not one out there already, what did I say? Can't even think of the word right now. Hello, mastermind. There's the word coming for me.
That's right. There we are.
I need more coffee at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. No,
that's right. You're in California. It's like the end of my day.
Yeah. So you're fine. No, my problem is I've been getting up working. I'm trying to finish this app up because it's taking a lot of my time. But it's been having I have it done, but it's been having issues with the amount of files I'm trying to shove through it. So I do big stuff. And so I want to make sure it's, sturdy enough for other people who, if somebody out there like me comes and wants to break it, it can't be broken. Right.
I got you.
Yeah. Just like I'd create another app that goes out and checks your SEO and your AEO on your website, and it'll tell you everything that's wrong with it. And then I'll give you it will figure the AI version that needs to fix it, because I'll read the page and come up with it. For most people's websites are about 200 pages or less. Mine was 1,800. And I have a lot of issues. So it's causing me problems to fix my site. But once I'm finished getting it working, then I could then sell it for enterprise, eventually.
I love it.
Yeah. So, because the biggest headache we have as business owners, two things. People hit us up all the time that our website has these issues and they never tell you how to fix it. And they never tell you what they're going to do, but they want so much money per month or whatever to fix it because you're not doing it right. The other one is if you have a YouTube channel, they say you don't have enough keywords, they don't have enough this. So I've built 2 apps that fix both of those issues because those are my issues. So
there you go.
Yeah. So one's called AEO Tube. And that one will fix your YouTube channel, fix all the keywords, fix everything that they say you don't have on their SEO, and then add AEO on there so that it can be found by the actual AI places out there. And then the same for the websites. And those things are just sitting there. But I wanted to finish the podcast first because that's my pain that I need to get through. Are you following me there?
Yeah, totally.
But it's just amazing what you can create these days by just talking to somebody.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Yeah, I mean,
it's
have you played around with live coding at all or anything?
So my business partner does. He's got a company that does something similar to some of the AEO SEO stuff. I use AI a ton for content refinement. My assistant uses a ton of stuff to take a 10-minute video of me and then make content for weeks. Right. So a lot of that.
Well, see, what I created, what you do is you drop in your podcast in there and it learns your voice.
Yeah.
It learns, and then you upload your writing. So then it knows your writing thing. So then when it writes the post from the podcast and creates the 21 different pieces of content, plus the thumbnails, plus everything about it, your opener and close that you don't have to do, because now it will do it in your voice for you. That kind of, stuff like that, which I'm getting. The problem is each one of my segment is what a VA does for me. You follow me? And then I know how long it takes them when I give them, because I gave them 19 shows to do and I'm still waiting. It's been weeks. They give me one a week, but it's like, okay, I could have 19 shows done with my new thing in a day and a half.
Yeah. Yeah. I
completely ready to go out at a distribution time that I had set ahead of time.
Yeah. Well, that's phenomenal.
Yeah. The thing when this is done is just going to, because I showed somebody. Yeah, it does it. Plus, I have agents that goes out and grabs all the new content, which means that all the new things. Like if he finds out that Instagram does 11-second videos off the chart, it'll come back and tell you that. You click on it. Now that's added into your queue to make that one for you to be uploaded also. And then also, I just recently found like the different sound level for this is all through building this. So I have like 65 different agents in this software finding stuff for you and fixing stuff for you. I had no idea how to do that until the other day.
I love it.
Yeah. So I'm just it's because what people don't understand is you can have AI, have other little AIs that just specialize in certain things, and that's all they do. And that's what I did. I have one AI that just does titles. It goes out and searches the best titles. Like today, it's a question or it's a this, and then it makes those titles that way within, so that when you use it for YouTube or Apple and all this stuff, it's right. And then all the blog posts and everything else that normally, AI writes, now is done in my voice. I wrote it, and the post for Instagram and the post for everything else is in my voice, and it keeps learning my voice. And actually, I'm talking 2 voices, writing voice and my actual voice.
Yeah.
So,
and it's all about just having I think the fun thing from your story is like, you learned it recently and
3 weeks ago,
and you just did it.
A friend of mine's like, dude, what the, because I showed him, he's like, I cannot believe and especially the AI I put into it, because I'm like, this thing's got to learn. And the funniest thing about it is I have hidden MASH theme throughout the whole thing.
Nice.
Yeah.
Good.
Yes. Yeah. Good. So the name of the over thing is Radar. It's the great grandson of Radar O'Reilly.
Nice.
The AI, but you have to really look in and then all the like Flag, remember Flag? I don't know if you ever watched MASH. I watched.
Yeah, I definitely.
The psycho CIA undercover guy that Captain Flag or whatever. He was on anyway. So he's the intelligent officer.
Okay.
Flag officer. Yeah. So
very cool. Very cool.
So it's just a way for me to have fun with creating something.
Yeah.
I had to name it, so I might as well come up with names of something I remember as a kid.
Yeah. Good.
Yeah.
Well, I definitely want to check those out when.
Yeah. Oh, I need beta testers. So.
All right. Giddy-o.
Yeah. So, and do me a favor. You got my information. Just send me a thing that you want to be a beta tester, and
Yeah.
I should have it finalized. I had to add a couple servers and stuff because of the files I was dropping. It kept coming up with ideas how to fix it. Why? Sometimes, even though AI is smart, sometimes you are smarter than AI.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. Like when I had it to do I was trying to explain to somebody they were making bi-monthly payments and it was better to refinance the 15-year. And then I told AI what they were doing. And so I told, they'll pay it off in 11 years. I go, there's no way they're paying it off in 11 years. You're thinking of an adjustable. This is a fixed rate. Oh, right. You are correct. So you got to double check things. Yeah.
Everything.
Yeah. All right.
Well, good. Good, man.
Nice talking to you. And if I can ever help in the future, if you ever want to put together something like a mastermind for business vets, let me know.
I will.
Because all right, Ed. We could do little groups all over.
Yeah, we could. I mean, I definitely think that is something to look into.
Vets are more and more vets are going to get out of the service. There's 200,000 vets getting out a year. Did you know that?
I did not know that.
And there's 18 million vets right now, and 50% of them are business owners. So that's a
cool stat.
Yeah. If you want to talk to somebody, just talk to that vet, talk to that one person out there, and he'll hear it, she'll hear it, and then they'll come to you or you push them away. But that's a built-in place that's great for all of us to help because we all need that help.
Yeah. Agreed. Well, Ed, thanks for having me, brother. It's great meeting you.
Same here.
All right, brother. We'll talk to you soon.
Sounds good. All right. Bye. And that's a wrap for today's episode, Helping the Brave. I want to thank Chris Duprey for sharing his journey from Army officer to entrepreneur and the lessons learned on leadership, transition, and the power of connection. Remember, your military experience equips you for success beyond service. Stay connected, keep growing, and as always, don't hesitate to reach out and help another vet. Until next time, stay brave.